Okay, so 11.3 number 25 asks me for a really cool trick. It says y of x is x to the fourth plus 6x squared plus 9. And I told you just a couple of minutes ago there's no formula for x to the fourthy things, right? They're looking for you to find, what did they ask for? Yeah, find zeros. Right? Find the x-intercepts, essentially, of this thing. So
you can definitely factor this normally.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
you add an extra exponent of 2. Property.
Okay, so what are you talking about? You could factor this normally.
So you
fill
just
in the exponent holes.
So you just pretend that the 4 is a 2 and the 2 is a 1. And you just, and
yeah.
you just factor
so
it, and then you add the 2 back.
You might like look at this thing and think to yourself, okay, that's basically 0 is, I don't know, something else squared plus 6 something plus 9.
Yeah.
You guys see this? Yeah, so this was me doing what's called a substitution, right? So I'm letting z be x squared. And then this I can solve, right? Because that just says 0 is z plus 3 quantity squared.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I completed the square.
Yeah. Well, you just
That was an easy square to complete because I just noticed it was already a perfect square.
Yeah.
Right? Another thing you could do is you could hit it with the AC factor method.
2 numbers.
Right? So you need 2 numbers that multiply to 9, add to 6. Those numbers happen to be 3 and 3, and this is 1, so this is easy.
As an answer, would you do like z equals square root 3?
Oh, yeah. So hang on. I'm not quite done yet, right?
Yeah.
So
Then you add the square.
to solve that, right, you do plus or minus the square root, right? So you get plus or minus, what's the square root of 0?
0.
That's what do you multiply by itself to get 0?
1. 0.
1 times 1 is still 1. So you get plus or minus 0 is z plus 3, right?
Yeah.
Plus or minus 0?
Plus or minus.
It's just
Isn't it
what you have to do.
It's just 0.
Yeah, plus or minus 0 is still 0, right? So you don't really need that part. So you got 0 is z plus 3. So then what do you do?
Subtract 3, hopefully.
You subtract 3. So you figure out negative 3 is z, right?
But then you have to.
But they didn't ask you anything about z, right?
Squared.
You put the z in there.
Yeah.
So then you go back to
I
the
didn't.
beginning.
You did.
Yeah, I put the z in there.
We're supposed to be living vicariously through him.
Yeah. Live the dream. So at the beginning, I made this substitution, right? But they didn't ask me about z's. They asked me about x's. So what do I do?
You
Change
add
the
it.
x's into negative 3.
Close.
So you do 9.
Square, you
It's 9 because
z
z
squared.
Z equals x
Put
squared.
back what z was in terms of x. Right? So this is called back substitution. I did substitution to make the z's. Now I need to back out of that. So what was the z?
Negative 3.
No,
Or
Z was x squared, right? It's also negative 3, so negative 3 should be x squared. This stuff here is called back substitute. This is a really common thing to do in calculus class, so I want you guys to have this substitute and back substitute trick,
And so this plus or minus the square root of negative 3.
which is
Non-real.
non-real.
So it's 3.
So you say no real answer, or you say x is plus or minus the square root of 3 times I if you have that tool at your disposal. So I'm not so worried about which of these you pick. If you're going to go through just Calc 1 and maybe 2, this is perfectly fine. Awesome. Stop at no real answer. if you're gonna go to differential equations land, you should probably know this other thing. But I'll teach it to you again there.
Is that calc 3?
Differential equations is like calc 4, kind of.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Cool. That's where we do like springs and electronics and mixing and
Who was to take that class?
engineers.
Not me.
Cool. Questions? Thanks.
Yeah, no, sure.
Covering your bases.
People who want to do biomedical research.
You want to do that?
Questions? Thanks. Good.